This one interview answer helped me land 10 plus offers in college. Make sure to save this video because in the next 60 seconds, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to answer the first question you'll get in all of your interviews. This question is tell me about yourself. This is a super ambiguous question and most people answer it wrong in 3 ways. Number 1, they make it too personal. 2, it's way too long of an answer. Number 3, they never tie it back to the job. What the interviewer actually means when asking this question is tell me about yourself in the context of this role. Your goal is simple. Paint a clear picture of who you are and why you're perfect for this job. Here's the exact structure. Start with who you are and where you're from. Keep it to 1 sentence. My name's John Smith. I grew up in St. Louis with 2 sisters. Then move into early childhood interests related to the role. We'll just say this is like a sports internship. So you'd say something like this. As a kid, I always played all the sports and I was super interested on the behind the scenes and the business side of what was going on. You'll talk about high school and early development and how what you did in high school played into the thing that you ended up majoring in college. For the sports example, you talk about how you played sports in high school and how you would love to continue the interest of business in sports and put it together in a major. Then you would parlay that and transition it into college. Say something like the second I stepped on campus at X college and got into my first X major class, I knew that this was the right place for me. This is also the point where you can kind of sprinkle in some clubs you were doing very briefly. Now it's time for the most important part, which is walking through your work experience chronologically. Each experience, you need to hit 3 things. Where you worked, what you did, and what you learned that actually directly applies to the job you're interviewing for. So you'd say something like, the first internship I did was my sophomore summer. My sophomore summer, I was working at X company and I mainly did X, Y, and Z. The main thing that I learned from that experience was X. For example, if you knew the job you're applying for was a corporate internship that put a lot of emphasis on marketing, you would say, I really learned how to work in a corporate setting and the fundamentals of marketing. And you would stack your experiences like that. You would say, my junior summer internship, I did this. And then you would follow the same structure. The only difference here is when you talk about what you took away from the internship, fill in a different gap of the job. For example, if it's a marketing and sales internship and you talked about marketing in the first internship, a big takeaway from the second one is learning the fundamentals of sales. Make sure that when you're transitioning from internship to internship, you talk about what made you take that job. If you're having trouble brainstorming exactly what you did in your internship, then it's totally fine to reference your resume bullets. By the time you're done talking about your work experience and referenced all the main takeaways from each job you've done, you've now checked off every box under the perfect candidate. Now it's time for one last piece, which is finally tying everything together. You'll say something like this. Looking back at all these experiences, it's honestly led me to here. I've always wanted to work in this space and I'm excited to bring what I've learned into this role. I know this was a long video, but if you answer the tell me about yourself question like this, you will always start the interview off right. Follow me for more real career advice.